Jorma Vuoksem, you've been recently started crafting the Colossus syndicates on horse betting. What made you interested in horse racing recently?
Recently, you say, I started following the British flat racing 1975 when I bet with play money in the library in Hämeenlinna. And when I stayed in London at the end of 1986 to 1990, I bet horses daily, and I went to racing. I've seen 3 Epsom derbies on those days and so on. And already on those days I started to do research on horse racing. These are already done with some kind of, computer power, but the starting point was that I sat in my little place in Stamford Hill and wrote down from these old phone books manually interesting things to study. Like I learned quite early how good legendary Henry Cecil was. So I spent 2 days by finding all his 2-year-olds, and with certain ideas found out how often they won and what were the returns on investments. So I have returned to horse race betting, and actually now I do it much more with higher turnovers than ever. My aim, don't laugh, my aim is to be Globot, the global robot racing operation, that I want to be some kind of modern Leonardo da Vinci who studies this and that and combines them to a very elegant, simple model, computerized, and then try to find a small edge, but doing it everywhere, so we should be fine. So long story, but that's my comeback, more or less, and I'm serious.
Alright, so horse racing back then and now, what's the difference?
Well, the racing itself is very much the same. It was quite interesting to find that when I counted the bar times and energy distributions and race track biases on British race courses, quite a lot had remained the same. Of course, the horses are much better nowadays. They are kind of the bloodlines get better and better, and I mean Galileo, Frankel, Milreef, they get better and better, but quite a lot has remained. The basic idea to run fast from place A to place B remains, and one of the strongest factors we do believe and where we base our betting philosophy is the pace, the energy distributions, where the horses run, why we want to run fast in a certain part of the race, why it's worthwhile to use energy to get a better place, what does the turns make to the outcome of the race. Is it better to bear the risk of being boxed behind the horses or to have more aggressive tactics? Those things we have studied, and the physiology and anatomy, they do not change a lot. But what is different nowadays is that nowadays we have much better tools to do research. We don't need to sit 2 days and nights and make these studies. We can make very good studies from good databases and very fastly and find the essential things. Actually, it's really good what we have learned from stocks and options trading and modeling of those instruments. I have been pretty serious with stocks and options trading actively. With some years we have had turnover over 50 million euros, plus of course options and futures which are lower turnover, but the underlying value can be big. So we are serious with horses, sports betting, stocks and options, and we have learned a lot how to study, how to model, how to build up robots from the stock market side. I have quite a few books which I have read even if I am an university dropout from mathematics, so I didn't have time for mathematics. I had to study sports betting, horse racing, those things myself. And what has changed as well is that some other sharp people like Mr. Wong from Hong Kong, they have written good books and good research from horse racing as well. And I don't take anything as gospel. When I get an idea, me and my team, we research it. We think if that idea mentioned in some of my 200 books could suit with that we believe. And if there's conflicting things, we normally again take some computer power and test it. Occasionally we say that that idea is not working. Occasionally we get a real bling that we should change something in our system. Quite often we find something in between. It's not a secret, we even smooth our probability estimates towards the market. It's not only risk control. We believe that the market is pretty strong in places like Britain, but people make mistakes, and if we squeeze out those most obvious mistakes with methods we really can trust, we can keep a small margin. And the small margin gets big with colossus combination pools, because if people make 2% mistake in each race, say in win 6 pool, the mistake kind of accelerates race after race. And we have found that there is quite a lot of dependency how people bet in different legs. We have, as I said, we have studied a lot. So when we get an idea, we get quite a lot out of it. And here is, I can afford to show it because it doesn't show so sharply in the camera. But here is, for example, our French trotting model, which is a result after years of hard work. And actually we have only 6 factors which we believe affect enough to the probability estimates that we are worth doing. And when we are working now with that Leonardo da Vinci Globot idea, we try to keep it simple and robust. We are far from to be ready in the British racing, but we work hard, and we are doing already good results in the colossus pools, and we will be better and better when the time goes on and our research goes on.
So horse race betting nowadays, it's a lot run by the huge, massive syndicates with annual turnover of billions in UK or Hong Kong. What's your plan? How are you going to beat them?
I have more experience. As you can see, I'm a grey-haired old man who has had a life in sports betting and horse race betting and stock market and so on. And now, when I can combine my experience, my lifetime research with the modern tools which I can now take into use much easier. And I have brilliant people around me, my team, which is honest, motivated, much more intelligent than I am, hardworking. So when we get an idea, we study it out. And now, I mean, I don't want to sound big-headed, but I doubt if any of those, successful, very successful money-making syndicates, if they have that much ideas and experience, we don't lose them by any means. We work as hard, we are as clever, we have more experience, we might be more motivated than people who has done money long time, and I mean, I believe we have kind of inside burden to this because we have been so long in the thing. Then we love horses. I have bred 3 Finnish Derby winners in a 10% ownership with Kemppitalli. We have won American Breeders' Crown with impressive Kemp. We bred one of the dominating stallions in trotting called Trixton, which was originally Monarch Kemp. So I believe that we have a competitive edge towards 99.99% of even serious bettors, because we can put in information to our databases like how the horse moves, how he or she looked when winning or losing the race. That kind of, it's I don't want to sound big-headed, but it's very rare. Mathematics, experience, the process, horsemanship, but everything is so well balanced and combined in one operations, like in the team around me.
All right, that sounds like a plan. So what's next?
Well, in behind the scenes, we keep working, and sooner or later will be the dominating force, the Globot, the Da Vinci operation in the whole horse race betting world. But in the meantime, when we get this video ready, I go back to my computer and start studying the Colossus bets Win 6 rollover for tomorrow. There we can be useful for all those people who join my horse racing syndicates. And on the other hand, I like betting in syndicates. The biggest wins we have got 2.6 million British Scoop 6, 1 million Finnish Pick 7, some other big ones where I have given a promise to remain silent. So all those we have won in syndicates. Alone, one can't bet really big because the variance is huge and one can run with big small systems, small tickets, which in sense are profitable, plus EV, plus equality. One can end up in concourse bust if one runs bad, even with winning expectancy, because the variance is so huge and the best advantages are gained in pretty improbable combinations. We have studied even that. But it's really exciting to have new, big, fine, good betting opportunities in Colossus bets with high paybacks, good guaranteed pools, good rollovers, and even the option to cash out. So this is a real kind of exciting journey or mission we are doing, hopefully together. And I really hope we win together, and let's enjoy it. Thank you for your time.